Right, so, crikey, back on YouTube. Woohoo! Sorry guys for I haven't been doing videos for a long time. For those that subscribe to the channel, those that, sort of comment and like and subscribe and all. Yeah, so, before we start anything guys, before we start anything, please, if you enjoy my content, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help with everything that we're doing, or everything that I'm doing, really. That's the main thing. So, today, when this video comes out, you probably would have seen like the vlog of me going all the way to the Gordon Smith factory, or workshop, let's say. It is a factory, so no, it's not a factory, it's a workshop, so let's call it a workshop, like to the Gordon Smith workshop, and I picked up my brand new guitar. I went and got my custom guitar from Gordon Smith. Now, before this video starts, before we do anything with this video, this is not a sponsored video, so I have not been paid by Gordon Smith or anybody else for that matter to do this video, okay? The guitar that I had built is my own. I paid for it with my own Imperial credits. Yeah, there you have it, okay? So today is all about that wonderful, wonderful instrument that I had built with Gordon Smith. So at the beginning you would have heard a intro track being played, so you obviously see what the guitar looks like, okay? There won't be an unboxing because, as you would have seen in the vlog that I did earlier in the week, you would have seen that I didn't do the actual me getting the guitar out of the case and showing the camera. It was kind of skipped because I didn't want to record that particular moment. That particular moment, I just wanted it to be between myself and the people in the room, okay? So, why did I decide to buy this guitar? Or let's give you a backstory actually. Okay, let's do this. So, the backstory, okay? Now, I started this year I had a significant birthday, let's say, and I just, last year, because of the pandemic and everything else on there, I didn't really get anything sort of thing for me for my birthday, if that makes sense. You treat yourself on your birthday sort of thing. That's what our parents taught us, and that's what we learned from everybody around us sort of thing. So on my birthday I wanted something special. And I think it was about time that I got myself a guitar, okay? Now, the two LTT guitars that I use are fine, they still work very well, I still have them. I'm not going to get rid of them because I like them, it's just the end of the story. But as I've mentioned many times previous, I've never actually owned a guitar from new. So I just wanted to buy my own guitar. I just wanted to buy something new, something good, something that will be my workhorse for recording and doing all sorts of things on there, okay? Like playing gigs, for example, doing YouTube videos. I just wanted something that's, first of all, that's me. Something that has the sounds that I hear in my head sort of thing when I'm playing guitar. Because I bought second-hand guitars, it just meant that I had no problem, well, there's not really an issue customizing any guitar, but I personally had no problem exploring different layouts, exploring different pickups, doing this, doing that, finding out what I feel comfortable sort of thing. So I decided that I wanted to go down sort of a route where I combine everything that I like about all 3 or 4 instruments really that I own, all 4 guitars that I own, okay? So that'll be my LTDs, both my LTDs, that'll be my Gordon Smith, and that'll be my Fender sort of Frankenstein, so not Fender, it's like a Frankenstein build, okay? So I wanted to combine everything that I've learned from creating these instruments all in one. So the first thing that I realized is that if I am going to have such an instrument, I can't just go pick one off the shelf. It became very, very clear earlier on. So when I was shopping around looking for a new guitar, I knew I wanted a single cut guitar. That was my first choice because I'm comfortable with a single cut guitar, you know, that very LP sort of shape on there. So that was the first thing, that was the first hurdle sort of thing. So I started looking at, for example, ESP guitars, because I thought, well, you know, if I'm going to go down that route, let's first see if I can buy a really, really good instrument from ESP, whether it be the ESP range, the E2 range, or the LTD range. The one that I'm going to say that got away was the Alex Skolnick Signature LTD model. I read about it. I liked the thickness of the neck, for example. I liked the fact that it's got a Floyd and it's an LP shape. It's got a really good looking headstock sort of thing. It's very different to all the other LTD guitars that I wanted to get. And at the end of the day, it would have been like, right, I'm going to buy this guitar. I'm going to change the volume knobs. I'm going to change the pickup. I'm going to change the neck pickup. I might put a P90 on there. So as well as spending all that money on that guitar, I'm still going to take it to a tech and go, let's play with this. So it's kind of not what I wanted really, because again, you know, for example, like this guitar on here, so because I've got the P90 pickup. There's a video about it, by the way, so I'll put all the videos in the descriptions, or the link to the description sort of thing. But this is a, it's been with me for quite a while, and it's got a P90 in the pickup. It's got my own custom pickup on there, and I've messed about with it, and this is kind of the layout that I like sort of thing. But as much as I love the P90 sound, for example, I wanted the coil sound, the single coil sound. I think from listening to demos, for example, from playing sort of like your S-type and T-type guitars, I love the sound of a single neck in the neck position on here. The bridge, I think for me, it had to have like a really good single coil sound, okay? So it just needed that split, because I love that split sound sort of thing that happens. This guitar does it really, really well. But, and this is my custom pickup, by the way, or a custom pickup that I had built for myself. But the issue that I always had with this guitar is that when I go into humbucker mode, there's always that slight single coil twang, let's say. You probably hear it in some of my recordings or some of the YouTube videos. It's just slight, and I don't think you notice it sort of thing on there. I love this guitar, it works. I've got another LTD guitar, so let's just bring that out. Let's just like really quickly to you, so you guys get the full backstory. So this is my other LTD guitar. I love this guitar to bits. The neck shape is absolutely awesome. However, the conundrum that I've got is that I've fallen out of love with the pickups, okay? I am going to upgrade them. I'm going to look into something new. But for the foreseeable, they work, they sound great, they've got a sound to them. I like their tone. It's just, it's just one of those things, okay? So this is another one. It's a workhorse. I love the volute on the neck. The other ESP's got a volute on the neck. The body shape is great. It's got a brilliant belly cut, but it's not a Floyd. So I kind of use this now for like rhythm tracks, if I'm tracking rhythm tracks. That was the handshaky dun, 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 on there. And it works, okay? This guitar holds a very special place in my heart. And then I've got the Gordon Smith. I'm not going to get the Gordon Smith out at the moment, but I love what that guitar has. It's got this elegance to it that you can't really find sometimes in other instruments. It's got that bespoke, I've been built sort of elegance to it, but it's also got this I'm a DIY sort of thing, okay? Not DIY, I think DIY is the wrong thing. It's just got this thing to it, you know, it just attracted me when I saw it, and it's just got this thing to it, okay? You know, the old Gordon Smith guitars, especially the ones that you get, you know, like in the 90s and the 80s, like you can't really tell that they've been built by 3 people in a small workshop, okay? So, I looked into the custom route with ESP. I thought to myself, right, I do know that you can get a spec'd out guitar from the USA workshop, and looking into that, I kind of just went, that is way over my price range. Plus, and this is not to like diss ESP or anything else, or any guitar manufacturer. Like whenever you find a guitar that you love that guitar. I don't need that loyalty at the moment. Like I don't like, you know, I love what ESP do. I love what, you know, I've got a Fender bass, for example, and I think it's just I've decided that I just want to move on. You know, I just wanted something new. I just wanted something different. So, hence come in the guys at Gordon Smith. Now, before I contacted Gordon Smith, I actually wanted to get a Warmth guitar, okay? Now, what's great about the Warmth website, for example, and the instruments that they do, you can kind of spec out, like, and you can see actually how it's, like, not how it's being built, but you can see a picture of what it would look like, sort of thing. But again, once I've got the guitar that I want, once I've got the body that I wanted, some of the parts that I wanted from them, for example, and I had the neck, you know, I knew I wanted stainless steel frets, for example, on my frets. I wanted extra jumbo, I wanted a rosewood neck on a mahogany back sort of thing, like a rosewood fretboard. You know, I'm going to like pay for that. The cost is just over $1,000 sort of thing on there, like over £1,000 for the whole thing. Probably, I think last time I spec'd it was about 1,300, sort of like 600 for the body, and then 600 for the neck, and then the neck they would both have to be shipped here to the UK, so I'd have to pay all the import charges and the delivery charges, and then once that comes here, I'm going to have to send it over to somebody and go, here you go, can you build this for me? And from what I've played and everything that I did, I knew that I didn't want a bolt-on neck on a Les Paul shape. Kind of wanted to keep with that tradition of having a glued-in neck or a set neck. So ESP and Warmth are out of the picture. I kind of looked at other guitars, maybe other guitar shapes, but nothing was really catching my eye. And I don't know what had happened at that point, but I sort of, and this was all around sort of between like November and February, by the way. I was doing a lot of research, I was doing a lot of work, I was just looking at what I could do and what I wanted to do and what I could get, sort of thing. And I noticed, I kind of, I don't know if I stumbled on a YouTube video, but I kind of found the Gordon Smith website. I kind of went back to their website or something. I remember, well, yeah, they build guitars. I decided to spec out my dream guitar, and I spec'd everything out, and I thought, right, okay, this, with it being built and set up and good to go, this looks like it's the guitar that I want. However, I will only go through this if they agree to put a Floyd Rose on my guitar. Or yeah, we'll get to that, a trem, okay, a modern trem, a double locking trem. So, you know, I emailed them, and they got back to me really, really quickly. They said that they've never done a double locking trem on their models like a Floyd Rose. I know the previous owners did like Kalas and stuff like that, but I've never ever seen a Gordon Smith with a Floyd Rose. So they got back to me like not long after I sent that email, and they said, yeah, let's set up a meeting. We want to talk to you. Let's see what else we could do with this build. We've never done something like this before with the double locking trim. So we just want your thoughts. We just want some ideas. We just want to see where you're going and all that kind of stuff. So we had a Zoom meeting. Of course, this was in February. It was still, the lockdown was still easing sort of thing on there. And, you know, I really felt comfortable and really felt at home talking to the guys. I spoke to Doug and I spoke to Chris. Chris ended up pretty much building my guitar and drawing my guitar and you know, doing all the hard work sort of thing behind the scenes, as well as all the other guys in the team. But Chris was my primary contact with regards to the build. So thank you, Chris, and thank you, Doug, as well. But as soon as I met with them, I felt at home, you know, felt easy, you know. We had that Zoom meeting. We talked about like some of the guitars that I have, what I want in the build, and then there were just a couple of two niggles really that I kind of wanted to address. The first one was the neck. I really wanted to find out from the neck sort of thing, like what kind of necks do they supply. Now, to Gordon Smith's credit, they actually said we can any neck shape that you want, we can do that for you, okay? And again, like the Gordon Smith that I have has got a really, really thin neck, very, very thin neck, you know, that I find difficult to play with. I mean, I love that guitar, but that neck is really thin for me. The ESP with the trem, which is just sat there next to me, that's a great neck, but I would like it a little bit thicker. So that neck over there with the one that I showed you after, this little bad boy here, I think this has got a brilliant neck on it. Okay, I think this is the thickest that I would go with a guitar neck. Of course, I've got my Strat, which is sort of here at the background sort of thing. This has also got a really good neck. But I said, I just want something slightly thicker, something, you know, a little bit more vintage, because I like a vintage vibe. So, and that's the first thing that I had to, they wanted to ask about. And the second thing that I wanted to ask about was the pickups. Now, because I went down that custom route and I went down like building my own pickups sort of thing on there, I did have a lot of questions about the pickups and what the pickups do. And, you know, hopefully what I'm going to offer people today as well with this review is an extensive sort of study into the sound of the pickups, okay? But I also wanted to give you a journey sort of thing on there. Anyways, we talked about everything from what I wanted from top all the way down to the end of the guitar sort of thing, the color that I wanted, the types of woods that I wanted, and, you know, sent me a quote and I agreed to that quote. And after a few weeks of, I think it was a couple of weeks actually, that I went, yeah, I'll do this sort of thing, because I needed to think about it, you know, like I've never bought a guitar new ever, and not with that range of money either, okay? So anyways, and by the way, please don't ask me how much this guitar cost. That is not something I'm willing to discuss with anyone, especially over the internet sort of thing. If you want to know roughly like how much these guitars cost, go to the Gordon Smith website, give them a call. I'll put a link down below for you guys to go and visit, and you can get and guess an idea of what these guitar costs. All I can say is that they're, you know, the price ranges with Gordon Smith, I think, if I'm right, anything between sort of like 800, and generally you're looking at between like sort of like 800, but they'll never cost as much as a Gibson or Gibson USA. Okay, they'll certainly not cost as much as a Gibson custom shop. So then after that, guys, I went, like, came April sort of thing on there. I went down to the factory, I spoke to Doug and Chris. It was just after like they eased a little bit more of the restrictions with sort of the lockdown that we had in the UK this year, 2021. Chris took me on a tour to the factory. We talked about the pickups, and of course I wanted a bridge and a single coil. So his advice was grand, his advice was great. He said, he showed me everything there is to know about their pickups. Very, very open. I'm not really going to talk about how they make their pickups, and that's their secrets. But, the magnets, magnets, they're known. It's like ceramic and alnico 5, okay? So, and low output as well, like kind of a vintagey low output. So he said to me, if I don't like the pickups, they're included in the guitar anyways. If I'm going to change to a different manufacturer from and ask Gordon Smith to put those different pickups in, I'm still going to have to pay for those pickups and the time to install them. So he basically said, try them out, see what you think, and it's really like generally pickups are the first thing to go on a guitar anyways if you want to upgrade your guitar or change the sound. So I went with his advice. We also tried out a plethora of guitars, and thank you for your patience on that day. I tried everything from their Tellys to their T-type guitars to their S-type guitars, some of the existing models that they've got. And there was a deluxe model, which is great because it's got an F-hole sort of thing on their double humbucker. And I grabbed the neck, and it didn't take me long just to say, whatever dimensions this neck is it possible to have this? Because this is just great. Okay, it just fits, it really fits in the palm of my hand, and it just felt awesome. And they said, Chris said yes, so boom, right? So, throughout the whole process, until the guitar was built, the communication was absolutely grand. The updates started becoming more and more frequent, and then all of a sudden, just within a few weeks, after a long wait, it got built and everything was set to go. They had to do a lot of testing because they've never done a Floyd before, and Chris said they had to reshape the curve that they do on their Graduate model. That's what this guitar is based on, the Gordon Smith Graduate. They had to adjust the curve slightly so they're not just throwing a tremolo in sort of thing on there. They're really making sure that double locking trem is going to fit. And yeah, done. I got it. I went down to the factory. You've seen the vlog, if not, a link as well. Went to the factory, had a brilliant day, or brilliant couple of hours, lots of coffee. Well, 1 cup of coffee for me, and went cold throughout the day. That's my problem. And very hospitable. Took my girlfriend as well down there, and she toured the factory, and it was just absolutely awesome. Okay. So after all this natter and chat sort of thing, this is the guitar. So this is my, I'm calling it Radish because why not? Radishes are fucking awesome. The reason why I'm calling it Radish is because, to start off with, because of the lights, you probably can't really see it. It's like a shell pink. So like a nice light shell pink. So I know because of the lights, probably it's looking a little bit whiter than what it should do. I don't know if you can see on there, but yeah, so went and picked it up, and it was absolutely, I fell in love. I fell in love when I saw it, sort of thing, like, but as soon as I saw it at the factory, I absolutely fell in love with what it looks like, how it feels, and all that kind of stuff. And I think they did a stellar job. So spec wise, it's really straightforward. I didn't really need to think a lot about the spec. Again, like listening to what I like in my other guitars, for example, I knew mahogany was in, there's no other wood that I wanted other than mahogany. So I knew that was going to be it. So I've got a mahogany back, so let's just show you the back sort of thing, because it's just gorgeous. Okay, mahogany, there's a little bit of, so if we do this, I don't know if you can see it. So just absolutely glorious mahogany. Same thing with the neck as well. See that, it's just a beautiful, beautiful colour. I think it's a little bit lighter than what you might see on the camera, but I went with mahogany neck, and by the way, this is all one piece, so like one piece neck, one piece mahogany back, okay, all from the same cut of wood, and it's a set neck or a glued in neck. And you know, it's weighty, it's not too weighty for me, but it's just brilliant. The good thing I started back at the gym. Of course, because I've got the trem, I don't need locking tuners, so there were the standard tuners that they have at Gordon Smith, and it's handcrafted in the UK, by the way. I love how they write that. There's the Gordon Smith logos, or you'll be able to see. Look at that, it's just beautiful. Okay. So, obviously a R3 locking nut from Schaller, and I decided on the Schaller bridge, because the Schaller bridge, for me, if I'm not going full Floyd Rose, because I don't want to go Floyd Rose original. It's kind of a cost thing really at the end of the day, but I had so many good things about the Schaller bridge, I went with the Schaller bridge, and that's it, done. Strings are Rotosound. I used the 1052. I decided against using the custom gates I use on the other ESP, because I think it's too heavy now. I think it's just got to the point where it sounds a little bit ridiculous, where it's just muddying up a little bit. But that's because it's the density of the strings on the guitar sort of thing. Anyways, 24.5-inch scale, 12-inch radius on the neck, very, very standard sort of vintage appointments, okay? And then the things that we changed from the graduate sort of, or the standard like sort of Les Paul things, is your single coil in the neck. It's very rare to see a single cut guitar with a single coil neck, and I just think, from my experience of playing things and doing things, this is just brilliant. Okay, that's the kind of sound that I'm looking for. P90s are great, but I just wanted that clarity. Like P90s can be a little bit hot sometimes. They can be closer to a humbucker than they are a single coil as well. I just want full-on single coil. Okay, and then we've got a humbucker in the bridge. Both of these are the Gordon Smith pickups, and then we just went with CTS pots. Okay, at Gordon Smith have got their own wiring for the pots, okay, for the tone and the volume sort of thing. They've got their own way of doing things. For the coil split, which they took over, that diagram they took over from, I believe it's John Smith, the guy who owned Gordon Smith before Alden took over sort of thing. And just your sort of everything else on there, you know, guitar's not too thick, by the way. I don't think this is quite a Les Paul thickness. It's definitely not a Les Paul, a Yamaha SG sort of, or GS, what are they called? A Yamaha sort of like double cut guitar sort of thickness. Rosewood on the fingerboard, and that's it. You know, I just went with what I know, what I'm comfortable with, what I like about guitars. If you order from Gordon Smith, anything is up for you to have on the guitar. Almost any kind of wood, I believe any kind of wood. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll spec one out for you. In terms of the Floyd, this is the first time that Gordon Smith have done it. And there was a lot of discussion about doing it sort of thing. They wanted to make sure that they can do it and all that kind of stuff, and they did, and it's just brilliant. It sits beautifully, and the guitar is just absolutely gloriously awesome to play. I mean, it's mine stuff. Oh, and I also went for this really, it's not odd, but it's like, so I've got volume for the bridge, volume for the neck, and tone out of the way. And I saw this layout with some of Richard Fortus's guitars, Scala guitars, and I loved it. I just absolutely loved it. And it's basically similar to what a standard sort of like Gibson or Yamaha, all of the guitars that had 4 knob layouts sort of thing, even Telecasters that had like double humbuckers, when they do the 4 knob layout, so you've got a knob, volume knob, tone, and tone. But I just thought, I don't need another I rarely use the tone, and if I do, it's only just when I'm recording, just to take a little bit out, treble out a little bit. I believe they also do a treble bleed mod on the bridge pickup as well, just to clean it up if you're playing with a lot of gain. So this is it, man. This is like absolutely, I'm just absolutely enamored with how it sounds and what it does on there, and I just wanted to give you guys sort of thing, a background on like how it plays sort of thing on there. So yeah, let's just go through some sounds. I think that's going to be the best thing to do. Now, I did say at the beginning of this that I had some apprehensions about the pickup and the neck shape. Okay, now I love the pickups. I am not changing them for the foreseeable future. I don't see why I should really. They've got that sound that I'm going for in my head. And just to give you an idea, like you've probably seen other videos about my pedal board, for example, my ampless rig. What struck me is, came back home and I plugged it in. I was just like, I don't need to tweak anything. It just fitted in with my setup, which was great. I loved that. I didn't really need to do anything else to this. I didn't really tweak my presets at all. These just sing, right? They play and they sing and they work really, really, really well. Anyways. Do a little bit of delay. I'm smiling ear to ear because it just sounds nice. So the setup is my pedal board. Okay, there's a video on that. I've not changed anything. I'm going through my own presets on the Line 6 Helix. I'm using Celestian impulse responses. This is kind of like a clean, crunchy sort of thing, not, you know. This is completely clean, by the way. So the crunch that I had is just the messer with a, I believe it's the King of Tone pedal in the Line 6 Helix, like pushing it slightly, but this is completely clean. And this is the single coil sound on these pickups, on this pickup. Two things that I'm going to say about the single coil sound. It sounds great. It works as a single coil pickup, or a single coil sound, let's say. Two, there is no volume drop when you switch between the pickups. Now, middle sound is going to be the neck single coil with the humbucker, single coil humbucker. Both pickups, full humbucker with single coil neck. And finally, guys, the neck humbucker. I can't really review Gordon Smith because obviously I've not been paid to review them or anything else on there, but I can share my experience with this guitar build. Okay. Now every build with Gordon Smith is unique. Okay. Even if you go with the standard spec, go on their website, exactly the same as this is like a standard set of spec. You've not got any custom options or anything. Each build is unique. Each build has got its own journey, and when you order a guitar from them, it just you have that guitar is being built for you, which I think is absolutely beautiful. It's just an absolutely amazing thing to do. Now, of course, you can find a luthier. There's lots of luthiers out there that will build you a guitar. There are luthiers out there that will even do whatever shape you want, sort of thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think that Gordon Smith offer a very unique thing in terms of experience, in terms of guitar building, in terms of what they offer, sort of thing. Because you're kind of not dealing with one person. You're kind of dealing with a company, sort of thing, that want to put a product out. But from my perspective, the customer experience was great. The updates on the builds and the frequency of the updates were awesome as well. Especially at the beginning because of transport issues and the neck not being delivered on time. Not the neck, sorry, the tremolo bridge not being delivered on time. For me, it took a lot of thinking. Any question that I had, like to get this custom built, it took a lot of consideration, let's say. I knew exactly what I wanted before I ordered it from anyone, sort of thing. Because whoever I was going to go with, whatever I was going to do, this is going to be the layout that I was going to have. But I think what Gordon Smith offer is very, very unique. They want to, whatever build they do, they put a lot of passion into it. You know, I've toured the factory, like, you know, everybody's happy there, sort of thing. So they do offer something unique. So if you are going to go with the build, contact Gordon Smith. You know, whether you're going to go with a you know, they've got plenty of guitars out there, and they're releasing their own models as well. And by the way, I'm not going to say much because I don't want to. Not that I've been told not to say anything, but some of the things that I've seen that they're coming up with in terms of more options and what they're going to do and all that kind of stuff is just brilliant. But yeah, so in conclusion, guys, like, this is my build, this is Radish. The reason why I called it Radish, well, why not? I was going to call it Project Oink because I didn't really call it. I was going to call the guitar Pink Floyd, but I have a feeling that's somewhat copyrighted in some circles. I don't know why. We had Project Oink going for a little while in my head, sort of thing on there, but I'm settling on Radish because, like I said at the beginning of the video, radishes are awesome. Anyways, right, in conclusion, I'm getting there. In conclusion for this video, guys, you know, if you watch this video and you enjoy what you see, enjoy the sounds and the backstory to this beautiful build, don't forget to contact the guys at Gordon Smith. They're absolutely awesome. Very, very down-to-earth people, know what they're doing, and just a great bunch of guys to talk to. My personal thanks go to Dog and Chris at Gordon Smith. Thank you very much for all your time, and thank you very much for building this for me, as well as the rest of the team, everybody that was involved, from like concepts to like assembly, drawing, sanding, painting, you know, even the people that met me at the factory, sort of thing. Just, you know, sorry, I don't know all your names, but thank you, thank you, thank you. And I wish I grabbed everyone's name on there just to give you a personal thank you on there. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to check out my music, check out the sort of sounds and everything that I'm going to put in the next video. Please like this video if you enjoy what you're watching, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's more videos coming, sort of thing on there. A lot of things happening behind the scenes, sort of thing for me. And just don't forget to check out my music as well, guys. So thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.